Deep in the mountains of Himachal Pradesh, past the tourist trails, sits the decaying village of Kalidar. For decades, the locals have kept quiet about the ruins on the edge of town, but recently, a strange, glowing anomaly has reappeared in the dark. The entity in the ruins has woken up. 4 friends from Delhi run a channel dedicated to investigating abandoned, restricted sites. Arjun, Kabir, Raghav, and Vivan. They heard the rumors about Kalidar, specifically about a massive Haveli where anyone who spends the night vanishes. For them, a haunted, undocumented palace is guaranteed viral content. Driving through the heavy mountain fog, their SUV slams to a halt. Standing perfectly still in the high-beam headlights is an old, shivering monk. He steps up to Arjun's window and delivers a single, rigid warning. The fire burns cold inside. Do not go. He disappears into the freezing mist. The crew laughs it off. The more dangerous the location sounds, the better the footage will perform online. They drive their SUVs straight into the dark mountains, ignoring the exact warning meant to save their lives. They reach Kalidar at 8 p.m. The streets are dead quiet. Every door is bolted shut. The only person outside is a young boy standing in the distance, who stares at the cameras and tells them not to open any windows after midnight. At the far end of the village sits the Haveli. The architecture is grand but rotting, with shattered glass and heavy scorch marks staining the exterior walls. As they step into the main courtyard, they find a massive fire violently burning dead in the center of the floor. Vivan holds his hand out to warm up, but immediately flinches back. The fire is producing zero heat. In fact, it is freezing cold. The closer you get to the roaring blue flames, the faster the temperature drops. They begin rolling the cameras. While adjusting the exposure, Kabir catches a shadow in his viewfinder. A woman in a stark white sari is standing motionless in the back corner. When he lowers the camera and turns around, the corner is entirely empty. The shadow in the corner doesn't just flicker, it waits. Every lens they point toward the dark captures the same consistent silhouette, tracking their movements through the halls. Heavy footsteps echo from the second floor. Following the sound, they find a bedroom completely gutted by fire. Carved deep into the scorched floorboards is a geometric yantra symbol. Vivan translates the Sanskrit text wrapped around the design. It reads, "Let the fire freeze." Hidden in the ash, they unearth a half-burnt diary dating back to 1856. It outlines the history of a young woman named Meera Devi. When a devastating fire ripped through Kalidar, the village elders accused Meera of witchcraft. As punishment, they locked her inside this exact room and burned her alive. As the flames consumed her, Meera cast a final curse over the property. Her fire would never again offer warmth to a living soul. Instead, it would drain the heat from the air and freeze anyone who crossed the threshold. The clock strikes midnight. Every door in the Haveli slams shut simultaneously. The camera feeds glitch into static, and on the green night vision monitor, Meera Devi is suddenly standing right behind Kabir's shoulder. The crew bolts for the stairs, but every time they run through an exit door, they emerge right back into the main courtyard, staring at the frozen fire. The curse has sealed the exits, trapping them inside a spatial loop. Arjun frantically scans the final page of the diary. The text describes a reversal. The frozen curse only breaks when the fire is forced to remember its heat. Beneath the ice-cold flames sits an ancient yagna kundam, a ceremonial pit. According to the text, the fire requires a living sacrifice to restore its natural heat. Meera's shadowy figure glides closer, freezing the air around her. Raghav grabs a pocket knife, slashes his palm, and lets his blood drip straight into the center of the pit. The blue flame instantly erupts into a blinding, searing red. Genuine heat blasts through the courtyard. Meera emits a piercing shriek and vanishes as the sudden warmth shatters her manifestation. The walls of the Haveli begin to splinter and collapse. Arjun, Kabir, and Vivan scramble out the shattered front doors and collapse into the snow. By the time local police arrive, the Haveli is nothing but a smoldering pile of ash. The spatial trap is gone, but Raghav never made it out of the courtyard. Days later, the 3 survivors are back in Delhi. Arjun isolates himself in the editing bay, exhaustively scrubbing through the corrupted camera files to piece together what happened. As he reviews the final clip of their frantic escape from the collapsing house, he hits pause. Standing in the doorway behind them, walking out of the ruins, is Raghav. His eyes are pitch black, and his pupils are glowing red. Arjun's breath suddenly turns to vapor in the editing room. The temperature plummets. He looks down at the floor, where a pale blue, freezing light is slowly bleeding in from under his locked bedroom door. The entity found a new medium through the camera lens. By uploading the footage, the crew has provided a centuries-old curse with a global distribution network. The blue light is already beginning to glow under Arjun's door.